take care of myself. Even though I know you're saying sales, but I think a lot of people don't correlate what you put into your physical body, what you eat, and what you put into your mind. I don't think they put those 2 together. I think
Yeah,
they compartmentalize those 2,
yeah,
right? And I'm a big believer in what you put into your mind is what you put out into the world,
say that.
right? And for something that I always do, when I wake up in the morning, the first thing that I do, let me ask you this. When you wake up in the morning, what's the first thing that you do? Grab your phone.
I take a deep breath.
Okay. I should ask, maybe you're different. I know you're different. But what do you think most people do when they get up and they're laying in bed for that first like 15, 20 minutes?
Grab that sideboard.
They grab that phone.
Yeah.
Now, what do you think that they're looking at when they grab their
They're,
phone?
they're looking at stuff that's gonna make them feel like shit.
Exactly. They're looking at things on Instagram, on Twitter. They're looking at news. Your brain is most impressionable in the first 15 to 25 minutes of you waking up. You're almost still sleeping that first 15 to 20 minutes. That's why you say, "Oh, I'm not a morning person, I'm waking up." No, you're just not putting the right things into your mind that early to really wake yourself up, right? And another thing too is you got to get up before the sun comes up. Now,
Mm-hmm.
some people have different circumstances, but if you're waking up when the sun comes up, then you already cutting your day short on what you could accomplish. When I
You're
wake up in
most
the morning, when I wake up in the morning, I'm doing affirmations. I'm telling myself, you can do this. I will do this. I'm gonna do this. I will accomplish my goals. I have a purpose when I wake up. And I think too many people tell other people those things, right? They tell other people, you're doing great. You're doing awesome. But they forget to tell that to themselves,
their own selves.
right? I, it really baffles me honestly sometimes when you hear people say like, man, I wish somebody gave me as much as I give them. Here's a saying, tell me if you believe this is true. Treat others the way you want to be treated. Do you agree with that statement?
Nah, not if you treat yourself like shit.
Exactly. Exactly. I mean, the world is already a sinister place. There's so much stuff in the world to tell you that you're not good, that you need to do better, you need to make more money, you need the next big thing. And that's just a lie, right? Think about treat others how you want to be treated to your kid. But I think let me rephrase that. When I hear the word that saying treat others how you want to be treated, I hear be nice, be overly nice to people. You agree that some people might think that?
Yeah.
But how do you get better if nobody tells you what you can work on? Like, I love being criticized. I love when people point out stuff in me.
And some
So
people,
go ahead. I was gonna bring it back to you. So you're very open and you believe what you do, and sometimes I've even told you, man, it's information overload. But tell me how we're gonna take this into your health stuff now.
I was
J-
just saying,
Yeah,
people deserve, some people deserve that criticism. You know,
they
myself
do.
included.
They
So,
do. No, I totally agree. I totally agree, Joe.
so
I got it off on a little bit of a tangent, but yeah.
no, that was on topic.
But let's jump back into your health thing. So I knew you were a health guru when you gave me some CMOS. Just tell me about how you discovered CMOS. And what it
So
is, and what it is.
so I discovered CMOS through Dr. Sabi.
Who before we hold on, who is Dr. Sabi?
Dr. Sabi, he's somewhat like Yoda to the herbalists, you know.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
Is
he
he a well-known figure in the US, or was he hated? Or for the listeners that don't know who he is, what
he's
happened?
well enough known for them to try and create, uh, you know, put him with that conspiracy kook category. You know, like he's well enough known that they're gonna spread that shade on his name, but he's not that well known because he was actually curing people of HIV, celebrities. But you
Mm,
know, of course, you know, celebrities and politicians can't, you know, openly speak about, you know,
mm-hmm.
that. But yeah, so he was yeah, a guru.
And this is somebody that I know that you really take a liking to, what he has to say.
Yeah, I think he's smart. You know, I think he told a lot of powerful things in regards to what we should be putting inside of ourselves. So yeah.
And what did you take from him in the beginning? What was that one thing that you, because I feel like in every situation, there's that moment where like you hear something or you see something and you're like, man, that really resonates with me.
Okay,
Right? Like,
so
what was that moment for you and Dr. Sabi that, because I feel like he was a big reason why you ended up going the way you did. You lost a bunch of weight. You don't eat meat, right? Like,
yeah. So
talk about
I'm gonna
that.
tell you what it was with Sabi that was powerful.
Hmm.
Um, you know, uh, just the truth. You know, like it was constant truth. It was not. Although some people may take what he was saying and try and twist it into some hate shit, like, oh, he said this about white people, he said this about Indian people, he said this about Chinese people. No, he was just talking about what they were eating, really.
Hmm.
So that's, you know, that's what it was. Everything that, you know, they try and pick Sabi apart for doing or saying like some crazy shit. To
Yeah.
me, it's actually unifying. So
Sure. Sure.
yeah.
No, I feel that. I I hear you on that, Joel, because as a black person, there are some things that, we eat that's like, what? Like chitlins and pig feet and
Yeah.
I'm like I've never ate those and I won't ever eat those. You know what I mean? But it seems like there's a lot of people in my culture that like that those are like celebratory foods. Like at Thanksgiving we eating chitlins and Chris, you know what I mean? Like, and I'm kind of like, oh, ah,
Yeah, yeah.
ah, it's definitely different. I'm serious.
I think
um, so you've lost a lot of weight, Joel. You tell me, are you 100% vegan? Are you pescatarian? Like, what is a day? Because I saw you drinking something earlier. What is that you were drinking?
I was drinking some coconut water date syrup with the sea moss gel. It kind of tastes like hot cocoa, but it's cold.
Oh,
Um,
so you got that cold cocoa.
it's nice, bro.
Okay, okay.
So, so I wouldn't call myself vegan, but most people would. But
Hmm.
the I wouldn't is because lots of the times when you see labels like vegan, they're trying to sell you on some processed junk food that's made from plants.
Hmm.
has been pasteurized or somehow preserved. And anytime we're dealing with stuff that has preservations in it, it's not going to preserve you. So,
Mm.
so we want to get plants, and that's all I eat. I just eat fruit, grains, nuts, seeds, veggies. That's it.
How hard was it to because I'm speaking for myself, but I might be speaking for other people too, right? I feel like that would be really hard to give up everything that I eat right now. I mean, I've went vegetarian before, and I was legitimately sick, like craving like bad foods, like almost like I
Yeah,
use this
yeah,
nicely like a drug addiction. Like I'd be eating salad and stuff, and they'd be like, "Oh man, I could just use like a burger."
yeah.
And then I'd eat a burger and I would feel better,
Those are
even though it was bad for me.
yeah. We're not really being controlled by ourselves the way that we can control ourselves. Um, those are parasites. Anytime you got a craving for anything, it's a parasite.
Mm,
And lots of the times when we're craving uh, love, we want sugary foods, and when we're angry or frustrated, we're craving crunchy, salty foods.
mm.
So, wait, where was I going with this? What
We were just talking about how like it's hard to. I was
give
asking
up?
you like, yeah, to give up that stuff.
Okay, so I'm gonna say it like this: like it took me a year or two to, give up everything and strictly eat from the foods on Dr. Sabi's list, but
Mhm.
really like 90% of it can be given up overnight once and you can learn something quick. Like
Mhm.
I learned about from the time I learned about the worms that's in pigs that can go up and start eating your brain, from the time I learned about that to the time I had my last piece of chicken
Mhm.
was 7, 8 months. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So I want to
So
before
it
we
so
end this,
yeah.
before we I want to list off 5 to 10 foods that are like vegan or veggies that like
Yeah.
I would stay clear of.
Okay. Yeah, we can do that. And I don't we there's no time limit on this, Joe. I think we're having a really good conversation here that a lot of people, will be happy to hear about. But it's good to hear you say that, it took time. I think a lot of people, they when they change their life or they change their mindset, they wanna it's basically like they wanna put it in a microwave and hit the 30-second button and then, have themselves
Yeah,
come out a vegetarian on the other side, right? A lot of things take time, and one of my big things is 1% better every day, right?
yeah,
If you focus on just getting 1% better every day, that's gonna be a lot more beneficial than trying to get like 20% in one day, because that's not
yeah,
really realistic, right?
right,
Most people who are rich, some people get rich early, but most people get rich later in life. But
right.
everybody wants to be rich right now.
That instant gratification.
The instant gratification, right? And I think as much as the food and stuff is cancerous, I think instant gratification is a is a killer as well.
We've become so we think we're so advanced, but we just want a one pill fix all. We don't want to actually do the day to day 1% that you're talking about, because every percent adds up. You at 350% at the end of the year off 1%. I don't even
Mhm.
need a percent every day, but
Mhm.
I'll take.
Mhm. Totally agree, Joe. So what for the listeners out here that are like, "Man, I wanna eat healthy, but I can't." I'm gonna let you answer this first, but I'm gonna say one thing before. It's gotta start with your with your mind first,
Yeah,
no matter what you do. If you
yeah,
don't start with your mind, then your body is never gonna follow. So, even if you Like, for instance, I am back in the gym. I've been going every day for like the last 3 or 4 or 5 months. Over quarantine, I was eating Reese's, I was drinking liquor. I was not taking care of my body. I got to the biggest that I've ever been. I'm 5'9". I'm 5'9". I should be 180 pounds. I was 230. I look like one of them bully pit bulls. Look like a bulldog, man. I had a guy from high school tell me I had a dad bod, that I was pudgy, that I was out of shape, and I was pissed. I'm not even gonna lie to you. I was hurt. I was. I really, really, truly was hurt. But instead of getting mad at him, right, I realized that, hey, anger isn't even a primary emotion.
Anger's bad for the liver.
Look, there's really not much good that comes from anger. And
It's
when you really break anger down, there's always something underlying. So I was mad at him, but I was really embarrassed, right?
Mhm.
So what did I do? I got in the gym. I started eating more bananas, eating more grapes, eating more oranges, trying to tap back into the stuff I hear you say. And I'm down 15 pounds in 3 months. Now, is that where I want to be? No. Am I still kind of chubby? Yeah. But it's got to start in your mind
Yeah.
first.
Yeah.
But continue. So now you're eating healthy. You're doing all that.